All right, we're gonna learn how to check for invalid string characters without regex. First, we're just gonna check where it's just an argument passed in as a string, and then we're gonna check it when it's an array of user objects. Okay, so more like in the real world. Okay, so now I wrote a function vals checker. It's gonna check if a string I pass it with contains any of these vals. Now, my favorite way to do this is actually using the while loop and having its condition be dependent on the length of this val list. Okay. So while it has a length, I'm going to do if string.includes, because you can use includes on strings. If it includes vowels list dot pop, remember pop mutates this array and returns the first value. So if it has that, we're going to return true. And then else, outside of that, we're going to return false. Okay. So now if we call vals checker, false, if we add an A, it's going to be true. If we add an I, it's also going to be true. We add it in the middle, it'll also be true. All right, so now we have an array of objects of usernames, and we want to loop through these, and we want to check, hey, do any of these users have an improper name because we don't want question marks or the @ sign, okay? So Bill 8 should get a warning that says, hey, change your name. And Phil should get a verify that says true. So how can we do this? Let's write a function verify. It's going to take in a users array. Okay, let's think about what we need to do. We need to first loop through this array. I'm just going to do it with a for each. So users dot for each, and we're going to get access to, I'm actually going to do user as well as the index, because I want to give each user their own ID using the index. Yeah. Okay, so inside of the for each loop, what do we want to do first? Well, we can do user.id is equal to plus plus index, okay? And this will give the first user with ID 1 instead of 0. Okay, so now let's do const band list. Let's do the question mark and the @ sign. Okay, so now we can do our second loop, while band list dot length. Okay, so while this has a length, what do we actually want to do? Well, once again, we're going to use pop, right? So let's do const current band character is equal to band list dot pop. And then we can do if what? Well, remember, we're still inside of for each, so we get access to that user object. So if user dot name dot includes the currently banned character, right? We know that they have a character that we don't want them to have. So now we can add the warning. We can do user at string warning. I'll just say change name, illegal name. Okay. Now, when we're done, after this while loop, how do we know if a user's been verified? Well, if you look at it, we're still inside of the for each. So after this while loop, if our user doesn't have a warning property, that means they passed all the checks. So now we can just do if user at warning with the logical not operator. So if they don't have a warning, we can do user.verified is equal to true. Okay, and then right down here, I can do console.log users, and then on the right, let's call verify my users like this. Okay, so if you look at it, Bill 8 with a question mark, it got a warning, right? Phil, true, wow, it's true. John 82 with the @ sign also got the warning. So if I delete the @ sign from John and we call it again, John will be verified. Okay. If for Phil, which is currently verified, I'm going to add a question mark and then call it again, we're going to see Phil has a warning now. Cool, right?